Well, y'all, I hate to start out a video this way, but we just lost a member of our family. She is the last member of the first flock we've ever had. Our littlest chicken, Chaska, has passed on. It's a sad day. I can only imagine how Jess is feeling right now. You know it's gonna happen eventually, but it still doesn't make things any easier, unfortunately. We lost another family member a little while back. I don't know if some of you might remember, but Toby had passed a while ago. Peter's dog belonged to Peter and his parents. Toby had been in the family for quite a number of years, 17 years, I think. So that was a tough one. Well, I figure this is a good spot. Maybe we'll put Chaska out here as well. I think Chaska will have a really nice resting spot next to Toby. Well, it's a little bit of a sad day. As far as her passing, it might have been natural causes more than likely.
I don't know how it happened, but, she is older.
But, old age, right?
Yeah.
It was so heartbreaking seeing you come out of the coop holding her, and I was just like, my heart sunk. I knew right away what had happened.
Rest in peace, Chaska.
You were an important part of our flock, from our first flock, and you will always be remembered. You were definitely one of the most memorable chickens we've ever had out here.
We actually have another video that's just about Chaska, telling her story and how she ended up being our only chicken for a little while until we got another flock, and then we had to integrate them.
12 years, which is still a pretty good run for a chicken. She was part of our first flock that we ever had. Obviously, 12 years, that predates us making any YouTube videos or anything like that. That was something we were doing while we're still living in the city.
I think that's part of what made her so special. Livestock animals like that, I think there's not always an opportunity for people to get to know each individual animal. They might be used for food or something. You might not get emotionally attached to them. But for us, Chaska was a special chicken. She was one of the first chickens that we had. It was kind of like our introduction into a more self-reliant lifestyle. Amongst the small flock that we did have, I think she was kind of special. She was different.
Yeah, they each had their own personalities. She was the troublemaker, and she was the curious one, and you had like a little box that you kept them in. She was the one that kept getting out.
Yeah, she wanted to explore. Once I put them outside in the coop, then she'd always come up to me and check me out and pull on my hair and stuff.
The other ones were a little bit more fearful, but she was kind of the one that was a little bit more outgoing and curious.
Yeah, but she was the smallest.
She was the smallest, so eventually I think she ended up getting picked on more by the original flock, so she
became a little more cautious.
It was sad to see her go because I feel like that's the end of an era. Bringing the rock out to the memorial site. Oh, UV is already waiting for us. So we finally got the memorial finished. I think the rock you painted looks absolutely fantastic. I think it'll be a great way to remember the last member of our original flock. Kind of crazy, the timing of her passing, and it happened just like a day or two after sort of those baby birds fell from that nest. We were able to get those birds back in the nest, and they're looking happy and healthy. They're gonna make it. So yeah, it's just interesting how just that cycle of life, of birth over here, of death, And you know, it had me thinking. I mean, I was just reading an article recently about someone that had just passed away at the age of 58. That's really just 13 years away from where I'm at, you know? Yeah, it just got me thinking really that you got to really appreciate every single day you have. You can't take anything for granted because nothing is guaranteed. Each day could be your last. Really got to appreciate and enjoy and live that life.
That's one thing I really like about our lifestyle. It gives us that opportunity. I feel like, you know, we're a little closer to nature, a little closer to those kind of basic survival things. You know, living in the city and being caught up in a different kind of life, you don't always think about that. You might take that for granted. Being out here and raising animals and being around nature, you know, seeing those baby birds. We have that nice big roof where the birds love to nest all over the place. So we get to see a lot of that life cycle going on every day. And it really makes me appreciate that. You know, I think all life is precious. I think it's good to stop and, you know, think about that and how you can kind of live in tune with those cycles as well. Chaska was hatched way back in 2011, so that's 12 years ago.
And at that time, kind of living this dream of ours really was just really in its infancy. I mean, we were probably just kind of starting to think about living a more self-sufficient lifestyle. Obviously at that time we were far from it. We didn't even have land yet. That didn't come until like about 2014. Literally that first flock of chickens was our gateway animal.
And at the time we were living in the city. We had a house and a small backyard, so we had a small backyard flock of chickens. Started a small garden back there. That's really what launched us into more self-sufficient living.
So now here it is, 2023, she's passed. Yeah, our lives have changed so much. You know, we've obviously we bought land 2014. We moved out here, and what year was that? 2018?
2018.
We just passed our 5-year anniversary. You know, we set up water catchment, solar, of course, more chickens. We have a garden. Of course, we're still working on our house.
I do kind of feel like with Chaska's death, it was sort of the end of a certain chapter, like that kind of where we started from. Now I feel like we're moving into a new chapter. We're kind of settling in here. We're looking forward to some big things coming up.
Maybe we'll talk about more of our plans going forward. So I might talk about that, a little bit more about that in a future video, but a lot happens in just a short amount of time. Again, like, don't take anything for granted, and if you're looking to start your dreams, don't wait. Don't do anything drastic maybe, but at least start making moves toward making that happen. Every day work toward that dream. Be curious like Chaska. So Chaska's gonna be missed. The chicken yard just isn't gonna be the same without her. Thanks so much for watching and being a part of this journey, being a part of our family. Really appreciate it. And we'll catch you in the next video.